what is up, my britches? If you are new here, hello, my name is Brittany, and today we're here to talk about all of my favorite makeup brushes. And there's a lot, but first things first, we came prepared today because I feel like this shouldn't be a long video, but it's a possibility that it will because I love to ramble and I really want to explain why I love each of these brushes. I have all of them linked down below, so if anybody has any questions or wants to look into them, or if you want to shop through my links, they are all in the description box in the order that I will be talking about everything. So I'm going to dive right in. I see all the britches in the live chat. If you guys love you some makeup brushes, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, or if you don't like this, hit the thumbs down, or if you're hate watching, I'm good with that too. The thumbs down is our friend up in here. So before we get into it, I'm going to take a sip with my truly black cherry lemonade today. These are hot fucking fire. I cannot get enough of these. But let's dive in. I'm going to start with brow brushes, and I basically structured these by brand. I was going to do it by like eyes and face, but I figured it would probably be easiest if you're wanting to shop going by the brand, you know what I mean? So I'm going to first start with, I have two individual brands for my brows. So my must-have brow brush is the BROWGAL by TONYA CROOKS. This is like a dual-ended eyebrow brush, I think is how it's named, I guess you could say. It's linked in the description box. But this just has the most perfect end for my brows because it's super thin. I wish I did close-ups of these to give you guys a really good indication of what I'm talking about, because this is one of the thinnest just brow brushes I've ever come across. I like the fact that it has the spoolie on the end. It is a more affordable brush. I think you could find these at Target because I know the BROWGAL by TONYA CROOKS, I've seen it there. Whether it is currently, I'm not positive, but this pencil, or brush, not pencil. This pencil just makes it so easy for me to do my eyebrows because I like to use powders, or I like to use like the Hourglass Micro Brow Pencil or my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. If I'm not using those types of products, I'll just use like a Makeup Geek eyeshadow and just use this. And it's just because it's so thin, it allows me to carve out my brow perfectly. And I feel like I already have pretty predominant brows anyways, but this one, especially since it's super thin, but it does have a little bit of flex to it, I find that easiest when I'm doing this little arch right there because my natural brows, they don't arch like that. So I basically have to create my brow. And when I do that with this brush, it just bends perfectly so I can get a nice curve. I mean, my brows aren't perfect by any means, but this is the easiest one. I also put down below the Anastasia Beverly Hills number 14. This is kind of like similar, I guess, aesthetic, but then again, not really, because I think the Anastasia one, it's a lot more dense. Let me give you guys a quick zoom so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see like the shape of them is relatively similar, but it's how thin. That's what I love about the TONYA CROOKS one, is how thin. It's like so incredibly thin. And then you got the spoolie. So this one here, the Anastasia Beverly Hills, it's a little bit thicker and it's just stiffer. So I can't create that arch quite as easy as I can with this because I kind of like the fact that it gives me like, it's like a little flimsy, and I like that. So if I were to pick between these two, I would go with the TONYA CROOKS one. But if you can't find this one, check Target. I have it linked to Amazon. I mean, this is still a great brush as well. I still use it if I can't find this in my sea of makeup brushes. But these are my current favorite eyebrow brushes. I see people are saying, my eyeshadow is lit. This bridge is about to get some wine. Lisa, I love that for you. Okay, next one I wanted to mention. This technically isn't a brush, but I did want to feature some tools as well. I just pulled out another one because I almost forgot to add it. So this is the Huda Beauty, the Fender Blender. This, I think, was actually in BoxyCharm recently. I think that's where I got the TONYA CROOKS. I just dropped a pencil. I think that's where I got this one as well, was BoxyCharm. So this Fender Blender, I love this because I love working with like metallics and sometimes pressed glitters. This is the perfect tool for that because it has a silicone edge on one side. Let's give you guys a nice little zoom so you can see what I'm talking about. So it's got this silicone edge on one side. I feel like this side's better for pressed glitters, but then you have like a sponge tip on the other end. This works so well for metallics, although I do have another brush that I'm going to talk about that I prefer for metallics, But this little tool is just, it's nice. It's one of those things, it's like, if you see it on sale, I think it's a good thing to have in your collection. But do I think it's necessary? Not really, because of another brush that I'm going to mention. But I did want to throw that in there as well. Another individual brush that I mentioned is the NARS Eat-A brush. I found a dupe for this on Amazon years ago. I bought that first because this is like a $40 brush. It's hella expensive. But if you struggle with contouring, this will be your best fucking friend. You can have the most natural, subtle contour with this, or you can have the most intense cut a bitch contour with this, because it's just, it makes it effortless. It fits perfectly right in that cheekbone area. You can blend with this and it's so fucking soft. That's the biggest difference between this one and then the one that I found on Amazon. I just tried looking for it and I can't find it on Amazon anymore. But this brush, I bought it when it was on sale during like a Sephora VIB sale. I would pay that price for it, like with 20% off. I would definitely pay the price for the NARS Eat-A brush if you struggle with contour. I don't contour really that much anymore. I think it's more of if I'm either going out to turn up or if I'm like going to an event or something like that. So this one I don't use all the time, but when I want this brush, it comes in clutch. Like when I'm really trying to snatch this face, this is the one I'm just like, yes, bitch, this brush is the bomb.com. I see people are asking, what's on your eyes? It's the new Urban Decay Naked Wild West, guys. This palette, first of all, this packaging is everything. This is a little side conversation because I see a lot of people are asking. I love this color story. I love it. So this is what's on the eyeballs today. This was sent to me by Urban Decay. I wanted to throw that in there because I saw people asking. So, oh my god, this packaging is so cute. It's not like textured. Like the Naked Urban Decay Wild West is textured, but the like snake skin underneath, that's not. Like that's smooth. This would have been bomb-ass packaging for like a multi-chrome palette. But that's what's on the eyes right now. Jumping in. This is a brand, if it wasn't for YouTube creators, I would have never known about Esum, which is Muse Beauty Pro. It's their makeup brushes. So these are the ones that I have. I have 4 of them. Shit, I think I just threw them out of the routine that I have them linked. But I have everything like categorized down below by the brand, so you'll be able to see. So the first brush I want to recommend is the W21. This is the one you guys always hear me talking about. I use this on my eyeballs today. I even recorded myself getting ready and I just didn't have time to get the clips all together. But this brush, this is what I use for that green shade. This is what I use for any metallics, what did I just say? Like for my Cleona shadows, my Divina shadows, my JD Glow, my Give Me Glow, anything that has like super high shine or it has more of like textures to it or something like that. Even the Urban Decay, the stone vibe. This brush comes in clutch for anything that I want to have that effect that I'm applying it with my finger. The Esum W21, this is one of my top recommended brushes. If I were to recommend one, this is gonna, or I would say if like, give me top 5, this is gonna be one of them because I use this all the time. It's just, it's perfect for getting on the inner corner as well because it's not too over the top. I want to mention the MAC 242, but you can't get this anymore. But this kind of gives me similar aesthetics, except I don't like cutting the crease. The 242 is a little bit more flat. It's not as thick as the W21. This brush though, it's incredible. Such a great brush. If you don't like applying your like metallics or anything like that with your finger, this, I think this or that Fender blender, these are going to be substitutes if you don't like using your finger for those types of eyeshadow. So Esum W21, highly recommend. And then another brush, it's very similar to the W21, except it's bigger. So this is going to have basically the same shape, I feel, as the W21, except I use it for like completely different purposes. So you got the W21 here, and then this is the W23. So similar aesthetic all around. It's just this one I use for my lids. This brush here, the W23, I use for my, basically like my eye base. You guys always see me use this with my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas eye base. If you are new to my channel and you don't watch my videos on like a daily, I use these brushes all the fucking time. Like if you go back and watch my videos, you're gonna be like, oh, yup, there they are, there they are, there they are. I always, always, always use these brushes. This is my go-to for setting my eye because I like this brush too because I can even carve out my brow when I'm using this because of the shape that it has. So it allows me to get nice and precise. I love this damn brush. So the Esum W23 Hot Fire. By the way, I see there's 98 people watching and only 59 thumbs ups. I'm gonna need you guys to come through. Come on, help your girl out. The next brushes I want to talk about, these are like, they're nice brushes, but they're not like must-haves for me, but they're still really great brushes. I ended up getting the Michelle Wong set from Esum, and I know that Kinky Sweat recently had a collab with Esum as well. So I got these brushes in Michelle's collection. So I also have the T05, which is basically just like a flat definer type of brush. I feel like there's so many other brands that do these that it's kind of hard to fuck this one up, but I feel like everybody does need like a flat definer brush. I know Sigma has a really great one. Oh my god, like every brand has like a flat definer brush. And then I also really like the S33 because it's tapered, but it's still fluffy. And I have hooded eyes. So if you're looking for hooded eye recommendations, you're in the right fucking place because I do have hooded eyes. So I like brushes like this because I have to basically create my crease with the shadows because my crease is lower than where I like to set my shadows. So I bring my shadows up pretty high. So this one here, because it has that nice point to it, it allows me to set it and basically carve out just an imaginary crease that wasn't actually there. So that's why I really do like this one. And because it's got that taper, it blends the edges really nicely as well. This one I don't reach for all the time, but I also really like this one if I'm wanting to do like the whole like flickety flick of the wrist for like the wing. This is another one I reach for that, and then I'll just clean it up with a makeup wipe. I actually just did that recently in a video. So this one, I definitely recommend it. It's just not like, it's not one that I'm like, oh my god, everybody needs it in your life, you know? But it's almost like if you're looking to buy a set and that's in there, it's an added bonus that it's in there. Does that make sense? Let's see, REPHR 21 is amazing for shimmers. We got a lot of REPHR to talk about, but we're going to talk about that later. Oh, I don't like white bristles. It doesn't bother me, but I could see what you're saying. Like, I hate when my white bristles are dirty or they're stained. It drives me crazy. Alyssa, or is it Alyssa? I'm assuming it says Alyssa X Beauty. I can't justify high price tag on these brushes. Girl, I meant to preface this video by saying my brushes are expensive. And I'm telling you, from my standpoint and how much these changed my fucking makeup game and my life, they're worth every penny. I feel, honestly, your brushes are your investment. A good brush can make shit quality products look way better. Way better, if not look amazing. So when I have, like, I could have a really great product, but if I have tools that aren't necessarily the best, it's obviously not going to reflect what the product actually is. When I have these brushes and I use them with really great products, it's like, oh my god. So I personally think if you're going to spend money anywhere when it comes to makeup, spend money on your brushes. That's just me in my humble opinion. But I could totally see where some people are just like, no, I can't get past that price tag. My earring back just fell off, so hopefully my earring doesn't fall out. That's never happened to me on a live chat. Oh no. Well, if the earring falls out, you guys know why. I'll just take them out. It's fine. Okay, let's move on to BK Beauty because I have a lot from this brand. I'm going to flat out tell you, I love all BK Beauty. All right, we're done. We're done with the big hoops. I couldn't last throughout the whole video, whatever. We got, here, we'll move these ones to the front. So I love every brush from BK Beauty. I think they have amazing quality synthetic brushes. I personally prefer natural hair for my eye brushes and synthetic for like complexion products as far as like creams and liquids. So that's where I feel BK really stands out to me because they have incredible, super soft, but really high quality brushes for, I mean, they're a little bit expensive, but I think they're a very fair price for the quality that you get. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is the best fucking brush of all time, the BK 101. If you're gonna get any brush from this video, this is it. This is the best fucking foundation brush of all time. I used to rave about the Sephora 64 RIP, You'll Forever Be in My Heart. I used to love this brush. I still recommend this brush because I know you can find this at TJ Maxx and everybody's always DMing me that. So for this brush, they changed it. Sephora redid their whole collection and I compared this brush to the new style and it's not the same. It's not the same whatsoever. But recently, because I've been using the 101 for like the past probably, I want to say 6-8 months, probably 8 months to a year, I've been using this. Recently, I went back to this for shits and gigs. This BK 101 has replaced the Sephora 64. I love this damn thing. This is my go-to foundation brush. I will use this for everything when it comes to my complexion. Like when I did my brush bundle with BK Beauty last year, I love this brush, but I've fallen so much more in love with it since then by seeing other people use this brush. So a lot of people were using this for their contour, their blushes, their every damn thing for like cream and liquid complexion. So I do the same thing now. I could use this for every step of my complexion if you don't mind having a bigger brush, but where I love this the most is my foundation. This is the best foundation brush of all time. Like I said, if you're going to take any recommendation from me, this is it. And you're welcome. I'm going to tell you you're welcome in advance. Next one, the BK 106. I had this one in my bundle with them. I had it so you could pick either one of these. I love both of them though. I'm so glad that I have both because I like this for like I like this better for my like cream bronzer and stuff like that, or cream blush. That's where I use this the most, is my cream blush. So it just fits perfectly on my cheek. If I'm in a hurry, I can do everything with this as well. You could use this for your foundation. You could use it for your highlighter, your blush, your bronzer. You could use this for everything. So this is another, it's just a really well-rounded brush. I want them so badly to do a smaller version of this because lately I've been more of a fan of more precise brushes, and I'm going to talk about another one that I would recommend probably over this one because I like the size of it better. But this, Lisa, throw us a bone and give us a smaller one of these, please. They are incredible. Incredible. Cannot recommend enough. Next one. This one, I was sleeping on this one for a while, and then I just noticed I kept reaching for it because I used to use the, what was it? The 104. This was one of the brushes in my bundle as well. And then I started using the 107. I honestly prefer this for bronzer because I like the 104 because I feel like this is so universal and it's such like a multitasker. Whereas this brush here, I love it for my blush and bronzer, the 107. It fits perfectly. They're so, I cannot explain how fucking soft these brushes are. So incredibly soft. I'm telling you, if you're looking for synthetic brushes, bomb.com. I cannot say it enough. This is another one. It's really surprised me lately. The BK 108, and I can actually thank Lisa J for this one because I saw her video where she was doing like her concealer hack and she was using this for her concealer. And I'm like, I'm gonna start using that for my concealer. So I love this for concealer. I also love this for my cream highlighter. So especially since I got my Auric, I love using that just right on the tips because it just fits perfectly on my cheap one. You could use it for cream blush as well. I think if you're looking for a more precise complexion product or complexion brush, this is the one. Bitch. Lisa, please. Guys, do we need to round up for another prayer? Dear BK Beauty and Lisa J, please give us a smaller version of the 106. Please and thank you so much. Sincerely yours, the Britches. All right, next three, rapid fire, because these were three of the brushes that were also in my bundle. I still am ride or die for these. The 201, the 202, and also the 207. I could not believe how many people loved the 207 when everybody was doing like reviews and stuff on my bundle, or people that just purchased it and gave me their feedback. The 107, or the 207, I always do that. The 207 I love for my under eye. And then I just love these brushes. I think they're just perfect eye brushes for like throw it on and go. So I don't use brushes like this too much anymore. I used to do my eyes so differently. So a brush like this, I would love to just like throw an all over crease shade in my crease and just be like, yep, we're done, let's go. And then I really love the 202 because it has, again, that really precise tip that I look for just in creating the crease. You know, it's something that really does come in handy for me. So these, they're so good. I do prefer natural hair over synthetics though, but these are still some that are just like, they still stand out hardcore in my collection, but I'm telling you, any BK Beauty brush, you will not be disappointed. And you get you get them in real life and you're like, this quality is incredible. I'm just saying, you're welcome. Next brand. So those are all of my standouts for BK Beauty. Next brand is Luxie, and I like this brush so much that I have 2 of them. I had to have ended up with 2 of these because of BoxyCharm. That's the only thing I could think of. The Luxie 512. Lisa, this is what we're talking about. Something like this. I love this for cream contour bronzer just because it fits so much easier, because sometimes when I use the 106, I go overboard or I drag it too low, which for me, it's not a huge deal because I do my foundation after that step. But I feel like, especially because like the past, I would say couple weeks, I've been doing it with these, and it's just like, it just makes it even easier. And then it's, I don't know, it's just overall a good experience. So synthetic as well, really great quality brushes. Again, I got these in BoxyCharm, but I use both of these because, oh, I just hit myself in the face. I love both of these just because it's like the shape. The shape is perfect for what I look for. Another thing too, with the 106, I tried to do like a curve, and this is a little bit more difficult. Whereas I feel like with this brush here, I can get that curve so much easier and it looks a lot more natural. So these, it's the same brush, but just different aesthetic. But bomb ass makeup brush. Let's move on. We're getting like increasingly more expensive. Next one is Sonia G. My girl Kinky Sweat. I think of her every single time I touch these brushes. If you want brush recommendation videos from somebody that is so incredibly knowledgeable, Kinky Sweat and Michelle Wong, hands down. They are so knowledgeable about natural hair brushes. It's sickening. But they have such great videos. They always do comparisons and stuff like that. So these are the brushes that I'm going to recommend. And this is where I see what you guys are saying with the white hair. Because it drives me crazy that stains so easily. But I have the Sonia G. This is the Worker Pro. This is, I feel, my most used of the Sonia G because I could pack. Like, it's such a unique shape. That's what I feel like Sonia G does so well, is the shapes of her brushes are so unique. So it almost looks like a paddle, if that makes sense. Let me bring you in. It's got like a paddle, so it's almost like flat or pinched. Maybe that's a better way to explain it. It's like pinched on the side, but it's still like fluffy in just the right ways. So I could even like push this in my crease. I could blend the crease with this. I could pack the outer corner. This is another one, like Worker Pro is the perfect name for this. It's a workhorse brush and it just performs so insanely well for me. This is basically, this whole outer corner is this brush right here. It's bomb. It's hella expensive, but they're worth it. I'm just gonna say it. They're fucking worth it. Like, yeah, the overall aesthetic, I see you guys are saying I love the red. The overall aesthetic of her brushes, these are like masterpieces. They're so nice. The next one I have is the Mini Booster. This one comes in clutch. I also have a Sigma brush that it resembles this one a lot. Do I have it pulled out? The Sigma, the E42, the Precision Firm Blender. These kind of give me like similar aesthetics, except the Sigma is just a little bit smaller and it's not as soft and it's a little bit more dense. This Sonia G brush, it's like perfection, chef's kiss, because it has just the right amount of density. It's natural hair. It's super duper soft. But this is the brush that I pull in if I'm like, okay, I just want a little bit more intensity, but I want it to be really precise. Mini Booster, that's a perfect name for it. I use this especially like just if I'm like, okay, I want that crease to be just like a tinge, a little bit darker. This is the one that I go for, is the Sonia G Mini Booster. And then this one here is the Blender Pro. I would say this is something that I lean more towards now over like the 201. That's where I was saying, like, I still love this brush for dusting it all over. Like if I have like a bronzer just to throw in, I'll dust it all over with this. But I feel like I reach for the Blender Pro just a little bit more because I have more control with it because of the shape of it. So this is just, it kind of gives me, remember when everybody was raving about the Sigma, what was it, the E40, I think it was? It kind of gives me like similar vibes to that, except it's rounded. So I am a big, big fan of this brush. I think it's incredible. Love this one so much. I don't reach for it a ton. I've been working with other brushes that I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but I have to recommend them because they're incredible brushes. Like Sonia G is a brand. I want to own all of her brushes because I think that she does such a good job with the structure. Just everything about her brushes just makes sense. And it makes it really intuitive to use her brushes, I feel. And I think they work for a lot of different eye shapes as well. So next one, Goss. I only have 2 brushes from Goss, but I love them both. First one is the number 5. This is just a basic ass pencil brush, but I use this one all the time. I like this for getting that brow bone, getting that inner corner, under eyes sometimes, but that's the main reason that I use pencil type brushes. There's not anything like exceptional about this one. It's just, I notice I reach for it all the time. It's very, very soft. I think all of his brushes are insanely soft, but my top recommended brush from Goss is this airbrush. This airbrush is the fucking best. If you set your under eyes, which I'm back on that train because I'm testing out new products, I love and adore this brush because it just picks up the perfect amount of powder. It's so incredibly soft, and it just, like, tell me that's not so satisfying. How just perfect it fits under there. But you could use this on your whole face. You could set your T-zone. You can do your cheek products. You can do your highlighter. You can do your contour. Such a workhorse brush. You could use this for so many things. It's like $40. It's hella expensive, but this is natural hair. Because I think it's squirrel hair. So this is like one of the softest brushes I own. It's so, so insanely nice. Love that brush. Primarily for setting the under eyes. If I have a softer formula for my highlighters, that's when this one will come out. If it's like, let's see, like Becca, the Shimmering Skin Perfectors, I could use this brush with those. Even, oh God. I feel like all the new ones are like pretty hard pressed. Like the Vive highlighters, I could use this with. If it's a softer pressed highlighter, I could use this as highlighter, blush, you name it. You could use bronzer, whatever. Like I said, very universal brush. Smashbox. I have 2 brushes. This one's not, like I debated putting this in, but I use it quite often. And there's just something that I love about these brushes, the Smashbox, the Buildable Cheek. So I like this one for obviously my cheek products. Bronzer, blush. I love this right here. I love the design of these because your fingers fit perfectly. Because there's like little divots. I know you can see it right there. These little divots. And you could hold it right here, or you could hold it right here. I feel like if you're just starting out with makeup brushes, this is such a good way to like train you, because you feel, you're like, oh, okay, my hand's gonna go right here, or oh, okay, my hand's gonna go right here. It makes so much sense. Like, I love this aspect of these brushes. The bristles themselves, they're not like the softest, but I really like the unique shapes that these brushes have. But my favorite one is the Precise Highlighter. This is, okay, if you have densely packed highlighters, this is the one that you need. This is incredible because it will actually get the product out. Like Natasha Denona, for example, like the I Need a Nude highlighter, that has one of the most insanely dense packed, even Amrezy, or even the new Natasha Denona. I feel like Natasha Denona, her highlighters are usually pretty hard pressed. This brush is a must, and it fits just perfectly right on that cheekbone. That's why I love it. And this one doesn't have like that structure like I like with the other brushes, but it's just perfect. And because it's so dense, it's almost like kabuki style. If you know if you know what that feels like. It's very, very dense, but that's where it really will get in there if you're trying to really dig into your highlighter. So that one, if you have dense highlighters and your fluffier brushes aren't really working, that one I recommend. And then this one here, I wish they sold this individually because I got the Scott Barnes, the travel set, but my favorite brush in this set is this travel highlighter. I like this because it has a little bit of density to it. I feel like I see a lot of people using a Sigma version as well. So I kind of want to get that one just to compare. But I love the shape of this one. Like this is the one I used today for my highlighter. I love this brush. I love it because it will actually pick up those more dense highlighters as well. Some of them, like I feel like the new Natasha Denona, the Mini Love, I can't pick that up with this, but I can pick it up with the Smashbox. So that's where it's almost good to have a variety of like textures, I guess you could say, with your makeup brushes, in my opinion, just because not all formulas are the same. But I feel like for the most part, I can get most of my highlighters to work with this one here, but they don't sell it by itself. They only sell it in the travel set. So this was my favorite of all of them. The other ones were fine. Like I do like it was the travel powder brush, but I just like this for like cheeks, and that's pretty much it. All the other ones I'm like, they're fine, but this was the one that really, really stood out to me. I'll have to look into that Sigma. I see people are saying they love Sigma brushes. I've tried Sigma. I'm never like losing my shit over theirs though. Like there's always, I feel something that I don't like about theirs. Like the bristles almost feel too, I don't know if scratchy is the right word. They just don't feel compared to what I own. I think that's why BK Beauty stood out to me so much, is because when I've gotten synthetics from Sigma, not to like trash on Sigma, but this is just my experience. Like I always just feel like I have this E27. It's just like, there's no like give or finesse, I feel. I don't know. I feel like that's been the case. I don't know. I'm not ever blown away by Sigma brushes. I'll just say that. That's kind of how I feel. All right, I'm going to go with my most expensive brushes. And then I'll talk about my most used brushes. So I'm going to need you guys to come through. I see there's 133 people watching and 90 thumbs ups. Come on, guys. Give it a thumbs up for the Spency makeup brushes. Chikuhodo. Chikuhodo is so fucking expensive. It's ridiculous. So the first one, though, the Z11. There go the dogs. My husband must be home. The Chikuhodo Z11. This is probably, how do I want to explain this? I don't use it a ton, but I use it all the time. Does that make sense? I don't really use this a ton as far as like getting this whole look together. This is my finisher. This marries everything. So like when I have my look almost done, I'm like, all right, let me grab my Z11 and let me just go like this real quick. And it just does something to the shadows, and it just makes them so much more seamless. Like I feel like that's why this look looks so seamless right now, is because everything looked great, but then I just added that little bit of dusting. Like I'll go in with one of the shades that I use and I'll just dust a little bit more, because it's like, it's so soft and it just floats. Like the best thing about natural hair is, you see how when you apply this to your eye, it probably doesn't even look like I'm touching my eye, because it's like my eye isn't moving, like my skin isn't pulling. It glides right over the top. That's what's so appealing to me about natural hair. And they're super soft. This one's squirrel hair, I believe. So insanely soft, but I love, love, love this damn brush. It's, like I said, I don't use it as far as like creating my look, but this finishes almost everything. When I do my lives, I don't do it, but after I end my lives, I'll be like, okay, before I do like my pictures and stuff, I'll pull this one out every single time. It's just, some people will look at it and be like, okay, I can't spend that much on a brush, but I promise it's worth it, in my opinion. I just like contradicted myself. For me, I think it's 100% worth it, because I really struggled buying these brushes because they're so expensive. But another thing I really like about this one as well too, is it creates, like if I do use this as a crease brush, it does create the most like precise blown out crease on my hooded eyes. I think this brush is incredible. Okay, give me the squirrel. And then the next one is the Chikuhodo cheek brush. This is the Z8. I feel bad even recommending this because this is over $100. Like, how insane is that? But this is the softest brush I own. So incredibly soft. This is another one. It's the exact same purpose for this brush. I do this with my face. They have other sizes, but I feel like this one is like the perfect size because you could use it for so many things. Like you can use it to like dust your under eyes, and it glides over so nicely. I know Kinky Sweat is who got me with this one. I know she did videos with this, and I'm like, fuck it. And I just got it, and I regret nothing. It's so good. So, so good. So what I like using this for is if I'm using like my Hourglass bronzer, I love using this with that bronzer. Or I like using this for a more like powdery Hourglass, like a powdery blush. But I do love using this just to kind of like the veil setting powder, stuff like that. This is basically just what I do. I just glide it over my face, marry everything together, and then it's just like, chef's kiss, you're done. Incredible brush if you set your face with powder. I love that one. Now, the grand finale. REPHR. REPHR. I need to do something real quick. The only brushes that were sent to me that I've talked about so far were some of the BK Beauty brushes. I forgot to mention that. Everything else, though, I'm like, did I buy everything? I'm pretty sure I bought everything else. These REPHR brushes were sent to me, full stop. They're bomb. Bomb.com, and I'm going to explain to you why. So I'm going to go in the order of the numbers of the brushes. So the first one, the number one. This is the perfect crease brush for me. And keep in mind, I have hooded eyes. First of all, it looks tragic right now. I use this for my eyes today partially. I used it actually on my under eye. But I love this one because this is another, it's just like a workhorse. It does so many things. It reminds me a lot of the Morphe M433. Yes, M433 or the Morphe R39. Those were my favorite brushes like of all time for the longest time. Like back when I first started, those were the brushes that I always reach for. This is the natural hair comparison of this one here. So this one here, I just think it's a great, just all over type brush. You could do your crease, you could do your outer corner, you could do fucking everything with this one. It's just a really great universal brush. The next one is the REPHR number 2. I think it's funny when people are like, oh guys, I'm sorry, my brushes are dirty. I use these damn things. I want to show you that I use them. So the R2, this is one of the most unique brushes to me because the shape of it is just, it's so different. Like, I don't think I've ever owned a brush like this. So it's almost got like, it looks like a paddle type, but then it's round on the top. It's like a buffer. But this is what I like to do with it. Basically, like if you look at my eyes right now, I took one shade and I just pushed it. You guys actually saw in my Kaleidos videos when I did my Kaleidos times Angie, the 2 videos that I did with that palette, you guys saw me basically just like push the product right into my crease. And then I would blend it out with other brushes. But I feel like this just, it sets it so perfectly and it just puts the perfect amount of product right where I need it. Just that little step right there, I'm just like, yep, love it. And then I could also do my under eye. Like, I love brushes that they're universal. Like, they could do more than just one purpose. So this one, I'm like, I could do my under eye. I could do my outer corner with this one. Like, if I want something super densely packed on the outer corner, I'm set. I can do the whole crease shindig that I do with it. Bomb. Next brush. The number 3. This is, I would say, comparable to like the Wayne Goss number 5. They're essentially like same aesthetic. They're just natural hair pencil brushes. One's just undyed and one is dyed. But they're almost the same exact size. There is a smaller one, the REPHR number 23. I honestly prefer the number 5, but if you're looking for something like, this is the smallest, this one here. This is the smallest pencil brush I've ever seen in my life. It's so tiny, but I recommend both of them. This is where I'm just like, okay, it's a pencil brush. Like, it's great. Love it. I do prefer the number 3 though over like the 23. I like it if I'm wanting to add like really, really precise things, but on average, like I use this for like my inner corner and I just need this and I'm set. But if you have smaller eyes, you'll love this 23. So I jumped ahead of myself. Let me set that aside. Next one is the number 4. Number 4 is my perfect blush brush. But here's where I love these. Dense formulas. Like, I'm trying to think of a dense blush right off the top of my head. My Dior, my Coral Pop blush that I love. That one's a little bit more dense. The, oh God, I can picture it. Nabla. Those blushes, how they're really like a baked formula, essentially. That's where I love, love, love these brushes because they pick up the product so easily. So this one is a go-to. I think it's great though. You could use it for blush. You could use it for bronzer. I'm going to say the same fucking things over and over and over again. But they do have a bronzer brush. And I do prefer this for my bronzers, especially baked formulas. So if I have a more dense bronzer, like the Nabla or the Kosas. The Kosas has such a unique formula. So like this brush, it picks it up so differently. I do feel like the Kosas, I could use either one of these ones because it's not dense, but it has like it almost has like an oily texture to it. It's kind of bizarre, that formula, but I could use both of these. But it's more or less like if I have a dense formula, I will reach for this one, but it's honestly turned into like a go-to for me because they're so soft. They're natural hair. They're soft as hell. The bristles are white, so not everybody's going to love that, but incredible. Okay, these next two, if you have hooded eyes, I hope you're listening because these are the best brushes for hooded eyes. I only have 2, but I guarantee the ones that are similar, like these are the 13 and 14. I bet you the 15 and 16 are just as good. They're just going to be a little bit bigger. So the 13 and 14, I cannot do my eyes anymore without these 2 brushes. I used both of these for my eyes today. So basically what I did was I went in with the number 2 first and I pressed out my crease. And then I went in with the 13 and I blended the edges just a tiny bit. And then I kind of did like the lid and everything like that. And then I blended everything together with the 14. And then I just kind of went on with the rest of my makeup. I came back, I put my brow bone highlighter, my inner corner, and then I came in with that Chikuhodo just to give it one last hurrah. So that's more or less like the process that I follow. But these 2 damn brushes, I'll give you guys close-ups because they're pure perfection if you have hooded eyes. I have not found better brushes than these ones for hooded eyes yet. If you have recommendations, please let your girl know. Natty says her REPHR sheds a lot. Mine, I think my face brushes do, but my eye brushes really don't. But I have experienced some shedding, which I feel like that's like normal. I feel like every brush sheds. It doesn't shed like excessively for me though. But these 2 brushes, if you have hooded eyes, this is a run, don't walk situation. These are bomb.com. Love them. I already talked about the 23. And then I'll also talk about the 25. This is another one. It's just a veil type brush. It's so like this feels like a mouse, or not mouse, a rabbit foot. A mouse foot. This feels like a rabbit foot. It just, if I'm in a hurry, if I want to just set the rest of my face with powder, this is what I use today because I've been using the new one size powder. I just basically did my under eyes with the Wayne Goss, and then I just took this on the rest of my face and was like, boop, 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 done. And it's so soft, and it just glides over. It's incredible. Love it. We mentioned the 242 earlier. If you could find the MAC 242 anywhere, snag it, but I highly doubt that. But from what I understand, REPHR has, I think it's called the P21. It's supposed to be this, but I'm not positive. I don't have it yet, but keep your eyes peeled if that comes back in stock. But if I were to recommend any brand for eye brushes, I have to say REPHR. They work perfectly for my eye shape because my hooded eye situation. And then the last thing I want to recommend, this is not a brush technically, but it's a tool. The Beauty Blender little powder puff thing. Look how disgusting that looks. I love this also for setting my under eye. So this is more if I have an event or something and I'm going a little bit more full coverage and I really want my makeup to last. I like this because it really allows me to really push down on that under eye, and it's super duper soft, and I could still like blend my under eye. I just really enjoy this one. I don't use it all the time. It's just so interesting how like your makeup routine evolves over time, because I never thought I'd see the day. First of all, I never used to do so many cream and liquid products, but I never used to use complexion brushes. I would use a sponge for everything. So it's so interesting how much my makeup game has changed since I started using brushes, but these brushes specifically, I'm just like, my makeup game has not been the same since I started using all of these. So I want to hear if you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up, but I want to hear now in the live chat, what are your guys' like must-have brushes? If you were to pick one brush, what is the top recommended? Because we haven't been here for that long compared to other videos. But if you enjoyed this, I appreciate a thumbs up. Share it out. If there's people looking for new makeup brushes, I'm here to help you. Granted, you might not love all the brushes that I have selected, but I think that these brushes are incredible. I will say, BK Beauty, they always have sales. Like, not always, but every so often they have sales. REPHR currently has a restock. I do have affiliate links down below. REPHR recently restocked. I do think a lot of things did sell out, but they have 30% off. 30% off. And they're doing a reward system now, which is incredible. I'm so excited. So definitely check out all the brushes that I talked about. Really look at like the structure of them and just ask yourself like what's gonna work best for me and how do I do my makeup, because how I do makeup is very different, I feel, than a lot of people because of how I do like all of my steps, if that makes sense. So let me see what you guys are saying. The REPHR 16, I need to get that one. Yes, REPHR 13, love it. Skincare video will be coming. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Be patient. Wayne Goss #1 and the Morphe M433. Jacqueline, that REPHR #1, if you like that Morphe M433, that is so, to me, it's so similar, except better. BK 101 for foundation. Yes, bitch, love it. It Cosmetics Star Brush. I've always wanted that Love as a foundation brush, and I was just like, no, it's not going to replace my BK Beauty 101. Nope. Wayne Goss Airbrush. Yes, love it. Just like the random ones. Also, Alamar surprised me. I liked their, what was it? The brightening brush. I did like this one. It kind of gives me similar vibes to the BK 108. Kind of similar. The 108's just a little bit smaller, but I did like that one. What was it? There was one of the brushes I was like, it was just a little bit too flimsy for me. Oh, that's so funny. Alamar. Wayne Goss, Artisan Brushes, his #8. I need to get more Wayne. Deidre, whatever brush, your #1 brush of all time. BK 202 is a must-have. Yes. Wayne Goss Airbrush. Yes. Sonia G Face Pro, I think it's called, the big one. I've heard so many things about that. My one that could be used for everything is Scott Barnes 61. Yes. Another one, like, I like this one, the 65 from him, but I don't use it enough, so that's why I didn't feature that one today. But I want to try all of his brushes now. I'm such a Scott Barnes bitch. I love his makeup. Wayne Goss and REPHR, yes. Carrie, I need all the brushes. One good one from Morphe is for hooded eyes is the M452, I think, or 542. I think I had that one. I got rid of all of my Morphe brushes. Wayne Goss Airbrush, yes. The BK Hooded Eye Collection, definitely. I think, like, there's another, I really do like the 203 from BK Beauty. It's just, I don't reach for this one over, like, my REPHR ones. I just think the REPHR ones hit my eyes, they hit different. They just work so well for me. Let's see, Scott Barnes brushes, yes. Wayne Goss, the 00? I didn't know there was a 00. It's a tiny, tiny blending brush. Scott Barnes 61 and 62. Scott Barnes brushes are the best. Okay, you guys gotta give me your recommendations on those because maybe I'll pick some up. Elf, the small stipple, Elf 101. Also miss the Sonia G Kashik. Oh yeah, or Sonia G Sonia Kashik. Oh, it's not the same now. And then the Luxie 239. I think Luxie has really, really good brushes. Oh my god, Julie doesn't like her REPHR eye brushes? Really? Oh my god, I love them. But everybody's opinions are different. Everybody's opinions and perspectives and preferences are all different. So you could get some of these brushes and be like, these are trash. I love them. I can only speak for myself. The Sonia G Face 2 brush for blush. Yes. I want to own all of them. Sonia G Sky Eye for hooded eyes. Yes. I love hearing all your guys' faves. REPHR 13, 14, and 15, but for affordable, I actually like Juvia's Place brushes. I don't think I knew that they did brushes. Oh. Guys, we got a bougie bitch over here. Chikuhodo the F05. I haven't seen that one, I don't think. Let's see. I've been a makeup hoarder forever, and thank you, Brit, for getting me on a REPHR. Game changer! Wait. We gotta do it. Yay! They're fantastic. I love their brushes. The REPHR number 2. Yes. The Alamar Detailed Diffuser brush. There's one brush that I like from this one. But I don't use it ever since I got that W23. But I like the green brushes better than the pink ones, but they don't compare to my other brushes that I have now. The Sonia G Cheek Pro, yes. I'm about to make a purchase. This has inspired me. Oh my god, I love it. Okay, Lunar Beauty has good brushes too. I really like them. I want to try those. I'm waiting for them to come back in stock. Smith Cosmetics are your faves. I did not like the Smith Cosmetics. They were so scratchy for me. I bought 2 and I sent them both back because they were hella scratchy. Like when I first used them, they were really good. And then I reached out to Beautylish and I'm like, these are not it for me. They were like, I washed them once and I was like, no. They were so scratchy on me. Smith Cosmetics 115. God dang it. Like those were brushes I wanted to love because I love the shape of them. They have really great shapes as well. They kind of give me like, it's like a mixture of Sonia G and REPHR. That's the vibe that I got from the Smith brushes. And I really like the handles on them too. And I liked how lightweight they were. Sonia G is my top fave. I love her brushes. I think the Face Pro is the one that I really pulled me first. Yes. Yes, I like the Lunar Beauty brushes. I need to get those. Oh, Michelle's here. Thanks, girl. My favorite brush of all time is the Sonia G blending brushes. Yes. I need to look into that brand. Bristles Brushes. They're based in Canada, I think, right? They're a new natural hair brush brand. I'm pretty sure. But I need to look into them a little bit. I'm just like, I feel like I've got all the brushes that I need right now. Any certain brand you would recommend for someone who is just learning about which brushes are good for what, especially eyeshadow brushes? You know what? I would say, like, I haven't tried these brushes. Those colored rain brushes looked real fucking cute. But maybe Real Techniques. Because I wouldn't want you to spend like a shit ton of money. I know some people would say e.l.f., but I don't think the quality of them is that great. I mean, I did enjoy Morphe when I first started. I look at it now and I'm like, I think they were overhyped. I think Sigma is decent as well. It's just, I'm spoiled at this point. That's where it's really hard for me. I just feel very spoiled because of the brushes that I now own. I even think that Esum, I feel, is comparable price-wise to Sigma for the most part. I think they do have some more expensive brushes. I would probably... BK Beauty, I mean... It's hard because it's hard because I think brushes are so important. Like, I would say invest in brushes, but then again... I would probably say just like go to Ulta and get stuff from like Real Techniques though, because I think they have great quality for a great price and they're easily accessible. And then you can find like Wet n Wild brushes at the dollar store sometimes. They aren't the best quality, but at least they can kind of, you can figure it out. But I do feel like when you get into the more expensive brushes, that's where you really find like the unique shapes. And that's where I think I really started to find what shapes that I really enjoyed, especially for my eye shape. I think that a lot of brands, though, do a good job at putting sets together that are ideal for, like a hooded eye set. Like, I know BK does that hooded eye set. The REPHR Core collection, I think that's such a solid collection. It's more expensive, but you're going to get 5 brushes that are incredible. I think it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me pull those out and show them to you, because I think that is such a great set. That was the first thing that was sent to me, and I was obsessed after that. Let me grab... I'm missing one. Here it is. So this is the Core collection. You've got 3 eye brushes. Oh, shit. 3 eye brushes, 2 face brushes. I mean, you could use natural hair for, like, your foundation and stuff. I just don't prefer to do that. I think this is such a great set, but I wouldn't say that this is, like, beginner friendly because it's spency. But if you're wanting to, like, dip your toes into natural hair, I think this is a great set. I mean, I recommended all these brushes today, and they're bomb. They're bomb.com, but I do think that the 13 and 14, they're necessities for me now at this point. I want to get, like, 5 more of each of them because they're so good. Oh, that was a great question, John V.A. Thank you for that. I really love the Charlotte Tilbury Powder Sculpt for Blush. I've never tried Charlotte Tilbury's. Let me jump to the bottom because I know I'm really behind right now. Let me jump down. Oh my God, I was really, really behind. Holy shit. Oh, BH Cosmetics. Jacinda, you just came through. BH Cosmetics is another brand that has really great sets, great quality for a great price. Yes, I bought my daughter's BH brushes for learning, but mainly so they didn't touch my brushes. That's everything. But BH Cosmetics, they do have really great brushes. I would definitely, yes. Real Techniques or BH Cosmetics, especially since BH Cosmetics is now available at Ulta. Yes, that's exactly. John V.A., there's your answer. Yup, definitely. Let's see. Yes, Tracy, I agree. Wayne Goss Holiday Fan Brush 2019. I missed out on that one. Or no, is it still on the website? I think that might be still on Beautylish. Whatever happened to Delium? Is that how you spell it? Oh, I forgot about them. I feel like I still see people use them though. But yeah, they were super, super hyped up. Tell me why I spent $20K at Sephora and didn't get expensive brushes. I think Oh my God, Caitlin. I love it. I have a few eye brushes from Profusion that would probably be great ones for someone starting out. I've never tried that. I don't have like easy access to Profusion. I wish I did because I know Karen is always talking about Profusion. I think Sonia G eye set is a great one and forever set even for beginners. They blend everything by itself. The beauty of good brushes. I got the Marc Jacobs one, but I sold it on Glambot. Anyone have experience with Glambot? I have never used Glambot. Has anyone tried bling brushes? I have. Oh my God, I got the Morphe set back in the day. And I hated them. I hated them because, first of all, you could like tell they're synthetic. Like, they just have like a certain feeling to them that I don't love. And I hate textures on my fingers like that. Like, it irritated my fingers to use them. It was so bizarre, but I did. I bought like a full out bling set and I'm like, I hate this. Oh, let's see. I also like the Nabla, the Ruby set. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Nabla ones, to be honest. There was just, again, I think I'm just spoiled. I'm just spoiled at this point. This keeps getting caught. Oh, D is here. Hi, D. I bought the Trend Mood Sigma set. They are so nice, very fancy. I really like that Sigma does that. That was where, honestly, I got the idea to bring to BK Beauty. I love that they do those influencer sets. I love it. Just because it's like, those are obviously like the top brushes. Like, when I chose my brushes for my bundle, I was just like, what would be like the perfect starter set for somebody? That was my thought. So they weren't all necessarily like my must-have brushes, because I prefer a different, like, how do I want to say it? I prefer like more precise brushes, but I wanted something like a bang for your buck. That was my goal when I put that set together. Oh, Kelly's here. Hi, Kelly. I went on the REPHR website today and I love how organized it is. Yes, they are. They're fantastic. And they're already shipping out orders that came in yesterday. So definitely check out all the brushes that I mentioned today, guys, because I highly recommend them. Don't sleep on good brushes, okay? I know it's an investment. I know they can get expensive. But from my experience, it has changed the game for my makeup application. Like, I know my makeup's not perfect, but it's made it even easier for me to learn like what works for me and what doesn't. So overall, I've just had such a fun time playing with all the brushes that I've gotten. I'm so grateful that I've had the opportunities to get brushes sent to me just to try them. It's just been, I don't know, it's been a learning experience overall. And my preferences do change over time as well. Like, I'm sure in like 6 months from now, I'll probably have different brushes because I'm always changing up like the way that I do my complexion or my makeup in general. So definitely check out the description box. Everything that I talked about today is linked down there. Most of them are affiliate links. So if you do purchase through those, I do get a kickback. Thank you so much if you guys do use them. Or you could just go right to the websites and shop that way. But I think that's everything that I have for you guys today. If you guys have any other recommendations for me, anything that you guys want to share amongst anybody else, leave it in the comments down below after this video post. Don't forget to like the damn video. We have 165 people watching and 122 thumbs ups. Give this video a thumbs up. If you are new, please subscribe to the Hot Mess Express. I will not be back. I think I'm going to take tomorrow off. I will likely be back Thursday night. So happy hump day ahead of time. I will be back at some point on Thursday, or maybe I'll surprise you in the morning tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what time I wake up, because I got so much new makeup to play with. I've got the Naked, oh my god, the Urban Decay Naked. Do you guys want a dedicated video to this? I know people already have videos, but I just got it today. I also have the Tom Ford, the new Tom Ford Rose Prick. This is what I was wearing in last night's video. Oh my god. Let me know your guys' feedback, and I will see you guys hopefully in my next one. Okay, bye!